Hey chemistry! If you missed class today, I wanted to make a video summary of what we went over. So we started by watching a video that's about 3 minutes long that reviewed different types of bonds. I then asked you guys as a warm-up to draw a Bohr model of fluorine and gave you a periodic table in case you didn't have one at home with you. So fluorine is here, and it has a mass of 19, which means it has 9 protons and 10 neutrons in the nucleus. And then you add the valence electron, and then you add electrons in rings. The first ring has 2, and the second ring can hold up to 8. In this case, fluorine has 7 more electrons, so it has 7 electrons in its outer shell. The main idea what we went over was how to draw electron dot diagrams and determine ionic charge. So electron dot diagrams are a lot like Bohr models, but simpler. So you show only valence electrons and you put it around the chemical symbol. So for fluorine, this is our Bohr model, and we would make the Bohr model for fluorine by putting 7 electrons around it. You do 1 on each side, and then you start to pair them. So I always start at the top, but you are welcome to start on whichever side you prefer. So then I gave people some time to practice drawing electron dot diagrams. So we started with boron, and in case you can't remember how many valence electrons different groups have, this group has 1, the second group has 2, you skip our transition metals. So then this tall block that starts with boron is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then our noble gases have a full 8. So then I gave people a chance to practice drawing them, and then we went over them. So boron has 3, rubidium is here, so it's got 1 valence electron. Nitrogen is here. It's got 5, so you draw N with 5 dots around it. Iodine has 7. And xenon has a full 8 in its valence shell. So after we practiced drawing electron dot diagrams, we went over how to find ionic charge. An ionic charge is the charge on an atom once it's lost or gained the number of electrons in order to have a full shell. And it can be positive or negative. So going back to our example of fluorine, it wants to gain 1 more electron to get its full shell, and it's going to have an ionic charge of -1. So then we went back to our electron dot diagrams and tried to figure out whether this atom was going to lose or gain electrons, how many it was going to lose or gain, and what its ionic charge was going to be. So boron has 3. Remember, elements can gain electrons if they have 5 or more, or lose electrons if they have 3 or more. They get to whichever shell is the closest. So boron having 3, it's going to lose all 3 of those electrons to give an ionic charge of +3. Xenon's kind of a tricky one, so let's do that one next. It has 8 electrons, so it is not going to gain or lose electrons. And its ionic charge is 0. It does not form an ion. So go through the rest of those and see if you can determine ionic charge. So the assignment on Monday is going to focus around determining ionic charges by finding valence electrons and then determining how many the element is going to gain or lose. So there's no homework this weekend, but I am going to do some grading. So if you are waiting for an assignment to be graded, hopefully I'll get to it this weekend. To close, we watched a video about metallic glass. It's not related to ionic or covalent bonding, but it is connecting the ideas of the structure of atoms determine the properties of the larger material. So give that a watch, and hopefully you'll learn something about metallic glass. If you have any questions, send me an email or come to office hours Monday. Bye!